But recently, D.C. Superior Court Judge Juliet McKenna dismissed the charges on the basis that, quote, no individual clothed and positioned in such a manner in a public area could have a reasonable expectation of privacy. In other words, she ruled that women who wear skirts in public can't expect privacy if they're sitting in a way that may expose their private areas. So that means if a creep wants to take pictures of your skirt in public, it is perfectly legal. Now, not that I should speak for everyone in the audience, but I feel like I speak for everyone in the audience when I say, what the heck?
Fuck?
Or for those who don't want to go there, what in heaven's name? I needed some clarity on this matter, so I invited legal analyst and Harvard-trained lawyer Areva Martin here to help explain this to me. Areva, most of us in this audience cannot understand how this can actually be legal.
Yeah, Queen, this one had us all kind of scratching our heads because, first of all, this judge is a woman, and we have to imagine this may have happened to her, but this is called upskirting. And yes, this judge said that men or anyone really can walk around with a camera, a video, a cell phone, and what this judge was saying is you don't have a reasonable expectation of privacy when you're out in public places. So when you're on a train, you're on a bus, you're at the Lincoln Memorial, if you're sitting with your skirt and your, legs exposed, your arms exposed, anyone can take your pictures, and it is not illegal.
That does not feel right to me. Everything about that seems wrong.
Yeah. I think the judge got it wrong. I think the judge took this very narrow interpretation of this antiquated, outdated law and didn't, take into consideration that today with phones and, smart technology, people's privacy. We're not private figures just because we're sitting out in a private place or a public place.
Right, which I think is going to get very tricky because as technology advances and as everyone has a camera phone, a cell phone, or some sort of video recorder, we're going to have to, judges and legal experts, you guys are going to have to figure out how to adjust those. I'm not exactly sure how old that law is, but you're going to constantly see these sort of cases coming around where judges have to adjust these laws to apply to today's America.
Reality. Yeah, and
today's reality.
So a similar case was in Massachusetts where someone did the same thing for a woman who was on a train, and the judge threw the case out, just like the D.C. judge did. But shortly thereafter, outrage from women throughout Massachusetts caused the governor to amend their law to now make it illegal in the state of Massachusetts to engage in upskirting. So,
wow. So basically, if we become outraged enough and we make enough noise to our legislators or, our local congressmen or senators, then we can make a difference and change those laws. Because this is not in every state.
States have laws against voyeurism and peeping toms, but all of these laws haven't caught up with technology. So I say to women watching your show, women all over this country, write to your legislators, get on social media, start petition drives, call, text, do whatever, because we have a right to have our private parts protected and to remain private.
Yeah. We absolutely do. We absolutely do. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming and helping to clear that up for me. All right, next beat. People Magazine has been doing a really cool thing where they ask people what advice they'd give to their younger selves. Halle Berry said she wished she could tell her younger self everything happens for a reason. The highs, the lows, it's all for a higher development. Julia Louis-Dreyfus would have told her younger self, trust your instincts and wear sunscreen. And Viola Davis would have told her younger self, just be yourself. Who you are is good enough. And my advice to my younger self would be, never go to the Lincoln Memorial in a skirt. Not yet. Oh gosh, I don't know what I would have told my younger self. I probably would go along with just be yourself, just like Viola. Do your thing, you'll find your way. For my final beat, Unbelievable.
Creating your own personal smell. As you know, we have, mine is Voodoo Rose.
That's mine.
So
too.
we have a little Voodoo Rose.
I mean, it's yours, but
see.
it's my favorite.
So the biggest compliment you can ever have to people is when you walk into your house and people go, that smells good. You know, it's not only about baking pies for someone who's selling a house. It's about creating that smell in your home where people love that. And if you're afraid of a live flame, look at these. These are electric. Look.
Did you know that?
And nowadays, like, these are so great, you don't have to worry. You put a battery in them once every couple weeks and you're ready to roll.
And then you also have diffusers.
And you have diffusers, which are great, because obviously you don't have to burn these. And these smell for months and months and months. So for someone who really wants to save money, go with these here.
Right, okay. So next we have...
Dining room table. Listen, how many people here have a beautiful dining room table and you just kind of walk by it? And you're like, I remember when I was a kid, we had a dining room table and my mother said, don't you dare go in that dining room. Don't you dare walk on that carpet. And so for me, I'm just urging people, use your dining room table. Break out your china.
Right.
Like I used to do when I was 9 years old. Mommy, can we have a good china tonight? But break it out. Break out the good china and use it. Use every space in your home to make it feel comfortable.
And then you have placemats and runners.
Placemats and runners, and make yourself, even if you've had a really, really hard day, make your own glamour in your home.
I do that.
And just treat yourself.
Even if I'm just warming something up, I have to have like a nice placemat. Don't eat off plastic. Just have some silverware. You know, just slow down and enjoy the moment.
Right.
You know, reward yourself. That's right.
Smell the roses.
Now, let's talk flowers.
Now we have flowers here. Now, there's different things. You know, when you're doing yard work, and I know that a lot of us don't like to do yard work, but there's different things in your yard which you can make beautiful things out of in the fall and during the holidays. Like leaves, you can make, like, these are rose hips off of rose bushes, if you can imagine that.
Wow.
So these are rose hips, and you just take them, and it's all about just taking wire and wiring them around a spool and making beautiful, as you would say in Francais, un courant, which is a wreath. With the sir thing, I have to like speak in French every now and then. That's
I like
the
it.
rule.
It sounds sexy.
And then you have to do, this is magnolia, which is, as you know before, is my favorite flower.
Yes.
So if the flowers aren't in bloom, baby, I'm going to bring those leaves in. So we have magnolia leaves and a little rose hip. And this here, these are succulents. And don't be afraid of plants here, as I'm like ducking in out of these orchids. Take the plants. These are succulents, and you can literally use these on your plates. You just take them, and actually when you're done using them in your dining room, you can put them in the ground and they actually root and they start growing back again. So it's great.
You see? So
orchid plants.
Purposes.
People are afraid of orchid plants because they're like, how do I water that orchid plant?
Yes.
It's all about the ice cube, baby. Ice, baby.
Now, what's the proper amount of ice cubes? Let's hear it.
An orchid plant, 3 to 4 ice cubes twice a week.
I know 2 people who said 1 ice cube once a week, and I'm like, that's not right, Jeff.
No,
That is not right.
They want a little bit more ice.
They
want a little bit more ice.
That's right.
And it's about also creating your own personal space. Like you have personal smell in your home. Like books, for example. I love books in my home. That's my big passion, is books to flip through. I get inspired by books. Plus, stack the books up in your house. Put vases on the books. Put flowers on your books. And just use them in your house. And then when you're home, after you had dinner, a nice glass of wine, flip through those books, baby. It's about creating your personal sense of style.
This is just about taking a little time and doing something really special to make your space gorgeous. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. But more importantly, who wants a book in their house? Right? So, what are we going to do?
We are going to get
everyone gets a book!
You are all going home with a copy. So you can see what Tina Turner's went. You can't have this book. This book's mine. But everyone else, you can go grab one, and everybody in here is getting one. We'll be right back. Up next. Maria Bello, don't come out here starting none.
Get social and connect with the Queen Latifah community at queenlatifah.com, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
She's a Golden Globe-nominated actress who's great in any role she takes. You know her from movies like Coyote Ugly, A History of Violence, that sexy Viggo Mortensen, and the hilarious Grown Ups. This Saturday, she she has us on the edge of our seats in the new Stephen King movie on Lifetime called Big Driver. Please welcome Maria Bello.
I bought you a present before we start.
Don't like me.
Just saying.
Benjamin M.
I'm
Taylor?
just saying the Giants had a bad day. And furthermore, I don't know why the would come on into that.
Fuck. Shit.
Maria
Benjamin.
Bello, don't come out here starting none.
Well, I saw Terry was
I
just
know
on.
the Eagles good.
They're really good.
Congratulations. Now, this guy I love. I do love this
Me
guy.
too.
This guy's no joke. So you do have one of the best. All right. I'm just going to have to leave this back here. You know, it's early in the season, Rhea.
I know, but I think we all kind of have a common enemy with the Cowboys.
Okay. Then I'll take the It's true. We gotta do. It is football season, and this is what happens when women love football, and we do.
Right.
Let's talk about the New York Times article that you wrote. Very revealing article called "Coming Out as a Modern Family." Got a lot of response from that article. Tell me why you wrote that.
Do you know, I wrote it because I was really sick last summer, to the point where I thought I might die, like that. I was riddled with parasites, and who was by my bedside was my son and his father, who's my best friend, and my, my ex-best friend, who is now my romantic partner, who's a woman, and my mother, and I just felt so much love, and I thought, there are no labels for all of this, and people were saying, this is a conversation that needs to be had. My two friends, they're two sisters. They've lived together for 15 years, raising a daughter together. Right. So are they not partners? Right. So it's this whole idea of partners, and what does that mean exactly? My brother's my partner in a way that a romantic partner would never be, and my son. So I'm so lucky that I get to drive this conversation more. I have a book coming out in May that's expanding on the idea of the modern family, and that the only labels you have are the ones you give yourself.
What was we got to come back and we can talk about that further in May.
Yeah.
What was the reaction that you got when this article came out?
It was incredible. I mean, within the first hour, there was like 270,000 people writing and saying, we're a modern family, I'm a whatever, because I call her whatever. Like my son said, he inspired me with this article, because when I told him about my romantic life, when he asked, he said, Mom, whatever, love is love, shout it out to the world.
But you were freaked out, which is a great response, because you were terrified. You kind of were freaked out a little bit about how he would respond when you shared your current relationship with him.
I was, because he didn't read the article when it came out, but a lot of his friends at school on soccer, they were like, man, your mom is so cool. It was so cool she did that. And he was like, whatever. And then one day, a couple months later, he saw it hanging on my wall. Claire framed it for me, and he wrote me a text saying, I am so proud of you, Mom. I love this. And I went, he's an amazing kid.
That's a beautiful thing to have.
Yeah.
This Saturday, you're in a Stephen King movie, Big Driver. Tell us what it's about.
You know, it's Lifetime's first collaboration with Stephen King, and I have loved his books, a lot of adaptations of his movies, but I read the script, and I knew I had to do this movie. It's about a woman who's a mystery writer, played by me, and one day, on the way home from a book tour, something happens that's very unexpected. Something brutal happens, and I go and seek revenge in any way that I can.
Wow. We have a clip. Take a look.
House is higher?
House is higher.
Lots of little tiny words on the side of it.
Oh, it's one of my favorite
favorite movies I've ever done. I can see why. It starts off so unassuming and just so peaceful, like I said, just so, you know, very serene. But then, of course, in the Stephen King way, it takes a crazy turn. And you are so good in this film. Thank you. You're good in everything you do, but you are wonderful in this film, and you really take us on the journey with you. And for anybody who's felt like, yeah, I want to you want some get back and you want to do it through a character, she's going to give you all you can handle. So make sure you check out Maria in Big Driver on Lifetime this Saturday at 8. I'll be watching. You should too. Thank you so much for coming in. It's such a pleasure.